friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and this is Curly Girl Budgeting. Today we're doing something a little different. I know previously I've mentioned that I don't tend to do well with savings challenges if they're just for a blanket purpose, but Kristen over at Intentional Living had an idea that I'm going to snag, is to take savings challenge slips and put them in specific sinking funds. So because the savings is for a specific purpose, I'm hoping I'll stick with it and that it'll help me get to my goals faster, kind of a little more organized about it instead of just putting money where I feel like putting money. So I did get these new savings challenges. There's 22 of them overall, I believe. So the first couple are by total or by amount you stuff each week. Then there's some that have specific goals. There's traditional 50 envelope, 100. There's 26 weeks somewhere. So just a little bit of everything. There's 52 week, 26, quick 30 day. So I'll go ahead and put the link to these down below. I did get them off Etsy. They were a download. I was looking for something that was going to be laminated and just like delivered to my door, but I didn't have any luck finding one that kind of fit what I was looking for. Plus these have rainbows and pride, so hooray. So instead I got these downloads, I printed them and I just cut them out, and I'm just going to use my mild liners, and then I figure I'll just reprint them as needed because I don't have a laminator and I'm not trying to spend money to save money because it doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through all my sinking funds, I already set up a list for myself, but put which of these is going where, and then based on what's already in the envelope, color in spots. So pretty straightforward. Some of these are not going to go in mine. Again, there's 22 and I wasn't trying to overdo it. So I want to say like 5 of them are actually going to go in my wife's sinking funds. So those I'll just do off camera since I don't normally show her stuff, but we'll go through mine at least. So we're going to go by binder. So we'll start with the Daisy binder. Okay, Beauty is getting the $5 challenge that totals up to $300. So this is what we're doing. And then we'll go ahead and count, and then I'll color. 51, 150, 170, 175. Okay, so now I have to do the math. So 20 of these should be 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's the 100. I'm actually use the other end of this. And then 75. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Okay, and then I'm just gonna color these all in. And I'm not gonna fast forward. So if you guys like watching people color, more power to you. If you don't, feel free to fast forward through this part. So I'm really hoping these will help me stick with it. Obviously some of these, like this one, I already have quite a bit stuffed, but I went ahead and figured out how much I need. Like for instance, for my haircuts, I get 2 a year and they're about $150 each because I go to a curly specialist salon, so that's $300 a year. So I figured this will help me have enough for at least my 2 haircuts, and then if I luck out and my haircuts end up being less, then obviously there's more built in there as cushion. But worst case scenario, I can get the curly mane cut at least twice, which is my normal routine. And then you'll see as I go through, some of these are not going to have a lot in them at all, especially for some of the bigger goals. So we're just going to kind of try this out. It was only, I think the savings challenges were only like $2. I had them in my cart. I was trying to decide if I really wanted to print and cut myself, and they were like $4, I want to say. And then I didn't order it, and the next day I got like an automated email from Etsy saying that the shop was offering a 50% off coupon. So it was literally $2. So I figured I couldn't beat $2. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna slide these in the back because I like the way the money looks behind the litters. So that's Beauty. Clothes is gonna get the $20, which is $1,200. So that's this one. Let's see what I have right now. 20, 40, 60, 81, 120, 130, 140, 150. So I don't know if you can hear the cat, but there's the cats, like always. Okay, so 150, so 20, 40, 60, 81. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna color in full squares. So I'll just leave that little bit of $10 alone. And then once I stuff more where I can fill in another box, I will do so. But I have a hard time keeping track of, like, if I color half of it or a quarter of it, like determining what that amount's supposed to be. So at least this way I'll only color in squares as they're actually done. So that's clothes. Then Etsy is not getting anything. Neither is fitness. Medical is going to get the 52 week, the 1378, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do this one. Let's see what we have right now. 51, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 310, 320, 330, 335, 340, 341, 2, 3, 4. 3, I should have grabbed my calculator. Okay, let's try this a different way. Let's see. 51, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, okay, so 50, 20, 40, that's the 100, so that's 300. So then we're gonna do 20, 30, 35, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll do 4 for this at first because my brain's gonna have a hard time keeping track of this. So we'll do 4 for that. And then we'll do, let's do a 15 with those. And then a 25 with the others. I'll have to put this all back in order, so bear with me. Then we'll do a 50. And we can do, let's do a 40. Then we can do 30. And we can do 20. I may have screwed myself up with these numbers. We'll see. And then we have 60, 160 left. So let's see. 160. So this will be 100 if we do these two. And then 60 can be 43 and 17, right? Yeah. And 17. Okay. Hopefully not all of them are that confusing. Tested my brain first thing in the morning. Okie doke. So that's medical. And like I said, this money that's in here is the FSA or HSA, whatever it's called. The refund for that from when I got surgery on my hand. But this is the last bit of it. Since it comes out of my wife's paycheck, I figured I can do my part to save money to put back in it now that it's empty. So that's medical. Then Michelle is getting the $10 600 one. So let's see. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 175, 180, 185, 86, 87, 88, 89, 190. So I get to do 19, which these are much easier to color. So we're going to do this one, and we're going to do 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Perfect, which I already bought her anniversary gift. It arrived. It is in hiding, so hopefully she behaves and doesn't look at it. Then this 200 that's remaining, or the 190, is for anniversary dinner. And then whatever the other 300 that's left will be used if we go on date nights, more comedy shows, we go to sporting events, it's like dates, all that. And then I will obviously have to restuff for next year, particularly for anniversary, just because I don't use this for her birthday or Christmas. She's actually in those envelopes, everybody else, but I want to make sure I'm still accounting for other things we spend money on for one another. Okay, so there's that. I'm loving how well my markers are matching so far. Okay, tattoos is going to get the 50 envelope, which is $12.75. So let's see. That one. Okay. And this one has nothing right now, so it's just going to get slid right in. And as you can see, this one has some smaller amounts, so like it goes in order 1 through 50. So I tried to be strategic about envelopes like tattoos that aren't as much of a priority have some smaller amounts, so that I wasn't being forced to put $20, $30, $40 every single time I stuff, just because that's not realistic for me, my budget, my goals, any of it. Then vacation is getting $30, the $1,800, perfect. So like you can see, this one is a perfect example. This one has $30 increments. So obviously vacations are more of a priority than tattoos. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 120, 140, 145, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 150. So I get to color in 5 of these. And bear with me on the coloring. Not something we learn at school. So not something I tend to do very much. Okay. So there's that. And then that is it for this envelope. Or this binder, sorry. Then the next binder gets a little more interesting. So birthdays is not getting anything. There's a couple envelopes, birthdays and Christmas being the biggest ones, that when my tax return comes back every year, I go ahead and I just blanket stuff some of the larger things. So birthdays is an example, because if not, then it ends up eating up my paychecks all throughout the year. So birthdays is getting skipped. Car is getting the $160 one, and it's actually going to go in the oil changes tab, which has nothing right now. So just trying to prepare for next oil change. Then Christmas, I actually am adding one just for this year. It is the $300 savings one, and that is for the tabs I added recently, the travel and events, because I didn't budget for those. I didn't plan to have that added, but realized I needed to, again, in watching Kristen over at Intentional Living. So this is actually going to go in there, which I don't know if I have anything right now. Let's see. I have 15, so I can't color anything anyways. So I'm just going to slide this in, and we'll just stuff the full 300, and then once 300 is there, I can split it up evenly between travel and events based on how much I need for each. And that's all the same. House, I'm going to do the emergency 1000. I think it's this one. Which I did say I'm not planning on adding anything to house anytime soon, which is true, but once we're in the new house, I no longer really have an emergency savings anymore. I basically used my emergency savings to start going to school, and then I just keep adding scholarship money to it and income to it as I go. So being that that's money I count on for my actual paycheck, it functions like an emergency fund, in that it has me set for the next, I don't even know how many months, but I wanted to make sure with the new house, just in case something came up, we were ready. So my wife has emergency savings, but I don't. So this is my way of doing that. So I'm actually not going to count any of this, because this is actually money that's part of our new furniture budget from selling the old bed. So this will just get slid in there. Then laser is going to get the $5,000 one, which is an example of one having very large amounts. So it has $50 for each slot, which I'm never going to stuff that much in this at a time, at least not until I graduate and have more regular income. But every time I hit 50, I can at least color it, because right now I only have 5. So that'll get thrown in there. They fit in there too, perfect. Maeve is going to get 1,000. I've previously mentioned my goal is to gift my goddaughter $1,000 every year on her birthday, so that her mom can invest it in a retirement account, so that baby girl does not have to stress about retiring. So this is going to help me keep track and make sure I hit the 1,000 every single year. So right now I should be at 100. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100, yeah. So we're gonna see what some of the bigger amounts are on here and stuff those. So let's do 3 30s. So 30, 30, 30, and then a 10. And that way, as I stuff the other weeks and other months, I can stick to some of the smaller amounts. So month 1 down. Then new car is going to get the 100 envelope $10,000 challenge. So that one. This one also I think has barely anything. It has 5, which isn't even an amount. So we'll just hang on to that for right now. Same thing, not a huge priority. So it does have some of the smaller amounts that you can see. As obviously it gets higher as it goes, but this is not anytime soon. I'm definitely going to keep the car I have through graduation, probably through the first couple years of working, but this will help me stay on track for saving for my next vehicle. Then Otto, in his vacation envelope specifically, we're going to do the 500. Let's see where that one is. There it is. So I save, so some of the things I stuff with my tax return are meds and vet. So vet, I spend about $400 a year, or I save about $400 a year just to be safe. And then meds are $300 a year. So those get stuffed in my tax return as well, at least as much of it as I can. And then birthday I save manually, and vacation, which is basically him being boarded while I'm on vacation. So doggy vacation will be something I'm saving for incrementally so that when we go on vacation, that's not an expense I keep forgetting about, because I do tend to forget about it. So right now it's empty, so let's go ahead and slide that in. Parties is going to get the 100 envelope $10,000, or which one? No, $5,000. Okay. So this is, I probably should have named it something else. Probably should have named it like Celebrate or Celebrations, but I was so excited about getting these envelopes from Kristen that I just spit out some categories. So what I'm planning on using this for the first time is going to be my wife's, technically our wedding reception. We never had a reception. We did do like a little elopement micro wedding with immediate family, and then just went to dinner together. So we haven't actually had a reception with all our friends where we live. So the thought was, because I'm still in school and she's in school and now we're moving, that we would actually just save up money again and have a late reception essentially, but for an anniversary. So there'd be our 3-year or 5-year. We can just plan to have a reception style event, but more so an anniversary party. That way all our friends and family can celebrate with us. So right now, I think we only have 5, which is actually one of the squares. So we'll color that in. And then we'll just slide that in. So my goal is 5,000. Ideally, obviously, she would also save 5,000. But again, it's just going to depend on what kind of party we want to have, what time of year. Again, just who we want to invite, all kinds of stuff. So we have a little bit more freedom being that it's not a traditional wedding reception, but just want to be prepared like always. Then for retirement, we're going to save $6,000. I'm not going to reach this goal, at least not in a regular tax year. 6,000 is the max you can contribute to your Roth IRA in a year. So I'm in school. Retirement's not a focus right now, but I want to make sure I'm still working towards putting something in, at least until I start working and hopefully get an employer contribution. So I put this in here, again, $100 each. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but something to keep me focused. And then Tiny Humans is probably one of the biggest. This one is this one right here. So this is the 100 envelope challenge for $20,000. We have brainstormed some approaches of how we might want to have children. I'm willing to carry, my wife is not. I am not about the idea of using sperm from someone we know. She is. So there's going to be a lot of factors going into this equation, but all the factors add up to lots and lots of dollar signs. So again, not a priority right now. I'm still in school, as is she, but this allows us to begin saving, knowing that this is going to be a very large expense at some point in the near future. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in because there's only $5 in here as well. And then that is it for mine. So what's left is my wife's, which okay, so that one is for clothes. I'm going to try and mimic the structure I use for my clothing envelope for hers as well and have $500 per season. So this would basically get her 3 seasons worth of shopping, which is plenty because we live in Florida and there's not 3 seasons in Florida. So figure that would be a safe bet for personal clothing for 2 seasons. And then if she needed any kind of replacement for work clothing, she could do that as well. Then the $35 challenge is going to be her vacation fund. Right now she has nothing in vacation. I think it's like $30-something left over from last trip we took. So rather than panic stuffing that envelope as we get close to vacation, I just want to make sure she starts having a balance resting in there that we can just count on if we need it. So that is that one. Then my wife is the queen of tattoos. She is absolutely covered. So she is constantly scratching that itch and getting more. So with the hourly rate of the artist she uses, I kind of calculated how much I know she's going to need for at least the rest of her sleeve she's working on and a couple other tattoos she had in mind. So this will begin building up a stockpile for that. Then we are going to keep adding to her savings. So right now, like I said, she does have an emergency savings that she can use if, God forbid, something happened, but I obviously want to keep building it up as much as we can. So she has enough right now, I want to say for like 3-ish months, maybe like 2.5. So this will just help us keep working towards getting that up to full 6 months. I don't know that she'll ever want to get higher than 6 months because in her mind that's just money sitting there, but we'll see. So we'll use this to start, and then if I need to print more, we can print more. And then last but not least is the 26-week challenge for her. This is going to be for Christmas. So as I previously mentioned, we obviously do presents, but we have lots of babies in our chosen family now. So we are going to do what's called the TT Christmas brunch. So all the babies can come see their TT Nichelle and get presents, and we can just see all the parents and kind of get together all at one time. So this will allow her to start saving for next year and have enough from this $13.78 to do all the presents she wants to do, Christmas decor because she is Christmas obsessed and always buys new stuff, and pay for the brunch. So we're thinking make life simple. If we can swing it financially, just have somewhere cater and just have them delivered to the house, have them set up, and then we can just divvy it up and trash the garbage at the end and then send extra food home. So that way no one's stuck in the kitchen cooking, not actually enjoying themselves. So that is what this is for. And then the only one I have left, oh, I missed one. That's why. I was like, I don't know why I'm missing one. So this one, I'm going to have to redo my envelopes a little bit. So the back of the second Christmas envelope, if you noticed, says school because this is technically my school envelope. So I'm going to stick this in there. As you've seen from my budget, I live on about $2,000 a month. So I just want to keep reprinting these and just every time I get 2,000, move it from cash to my school savings account, print a new one, do it again, and just keep doing it over and over to make sure I'm continually putting more income into my savings account so that I can get through the next 1.5 years that I have left before I have to start job hunting. So this is going to go in here. I'm going to go ahead and switch this off camera because I do need to find an extra envelope. But all in all, that is where we're at with savings challenges. I hope you guys like the new setup. I certainly do. It's definitely my taste, and I think it'll help me stay focused without feeling overwhelming or aimless. So feel free to check out the Etsy listing below. Get yourself a set if you'd like, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, guys.